Welcome to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling. You are about to discover impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you, so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Be sure you visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now tune in, get ready, and enjoy the journey of emerging as a leader of exception in the 21st century.
Welcome, everyone, to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast. I'm your host, Vicki Noethling, coming to you from Roswell, Georgia. The goal of this podcast is to bring topics and guests that will empower you to become that confident leader and take your business and your life to the next level. Today, I am very pleased to have with me Jameka Whitten, and let me tell you about Jameka. So she is a journalist by trade, branding consultant, and publicist by choice. Jameka owns JSW Media Group, a boutique public relations and brand management agency based in Charlotte, North Carolina, with a national clientele. She is an experienced public relations professional and business executive with 20 years of experience in new media, publishing, brand management, and strategic communications, with strong ties to the music, entertainment, sports, and fashion industries. Jameka is also self-proclaimed social media enthusiast who works on several philanthropic causes nationwide. More importantly, she's been a vegan since birth. I couldn't do it, girl. Sorry. Writes poetry in her spare time and loves to live life in color and to the fullest. She can be found lounging at the nearest coffee shop, wine bar, or a vegan eatery with her phone in one hand and a book in the other. Today, I thought we'd talk about a topic that both of us love, and that is why your why is important when pursuing your passion. Please join me in welcoming my guest, Jameka Whitten. Hi, Jameka.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me today. I feel thrilled to be here.
Yes, it's wonderful to have you. And as always, I start with a very easy question before we get going here. And that is, please tell us what part of the country you live in. I know I gave it somewhat away, but let me know. Where do you call home?
I call Charlotte, North Carolina home. I was born and raised here, but uniquely, I have two hometowns, I like to say, because
Yes.
I was born in Charlotte, but I was raised from the time I was 8 years old until college in Richmond, Virginia. So I am definitely very Southern.
Yes, you are. And it's two kind of different Southerns, I think, sometimes Virginia and North Carolina are just a slightly different vibe, I think, whenever I travel there.
Absolutely. You nailed that one right on the head. That they're slightly different, still Southern, but the intricacies are quite, and the nuances are quite interesting.
Yes. All right, so let's talk about you for a minute. I gave all of the accolades of you from a business professional perspective, but let's talk about your journey, the path that has led you to where you are today.
Sure. I started wanting to be Oprah, right? So that was the thing. You are at least still doing that on camera. I just wanted to tell really great stories. And initially, I thought that I could only do that by being in front of the camera or on the mic. And as kind of life happened, I realized that I really, really like building brands from the ground up. I really like helping people tell their stories from a different perspective that will actually help them in the future. So it's not just sharing their narrative, it's helping to shape it. and in those around them for whatever reason it may be. You know, if it's increased sales, great, or if it's just greater recognition and awareness, wonderful. But whatever that particular client's thing is, I love to help them realize their dreams.
Very cool. So share what being authentic means to you and why do you feel it's a lost it, or do you think that it's becoming a lost art? I have a different opinion of that, but so it should be interesting to hear what you have to say.
Honestly, I feel like authenticity it's a buzzword, but I don't think anyone is truly taking it to heart as they used to. And the reason why I say that is we're in this land of carbon copy social media, right? So like everyone looks, and this is no diss to the Kardashians, but everyone looks like a Kardashian. Everyone is heavily made up. Everyone is, you know, presenting their very best self at all times. So it's this influencer culture. And I can this it completely because obviously I work in that realm and have to use influencers and I do some of those tactics with clients. But for the most part, I try to promote being as authentic as possible because no one's going to do you like you. No one's going to do your business like you. And you have to be original. That's what's going to make you stand out in, you know, that's personally, professionally, you know, the whole gamut, right? And so you have to you have to deal with yourself holistically, and to, you know, really present your best self holistically, you have to get at the core of who you are and be authentic and be able to stand strong with it too. Like, not always easy being different at all.
You know, and I agree with you. For me, you know, as I coach people in leadership and in public speaking, you know, and they say, well, how can I have people engage more with me? How can I have people listen to me? And it's really, it is just as you said, be you. Be you. People buy you. They don't buy product. They don't buy your service. There's a lot of competition out there. And so the deciding factor is you. And so you get, if you're comfortable in your skin, in what you are, then it will shine out. So for me, I don't think it's a lost art. I think it's maybe just a forgotten asset that we have.
I like how you put that because that is absolutely true because it's at the core of everyone, right? It's just feeling comfortable enough in your own skin to project that. I blame imposter syndrome a lot on that because you're like, does anyone really want to do business with just me without me projecting in a certain way or being someone else? Because I see all of these successful, you know, X, Y, and Z folks doing whatever. And am I enough? Is that question that goes through a lot of business owners and other entrepreneurs' minds on a regular basis because you're constantly out there trying to compete in the marketplace.
Yeah, I work with adults as well as students. And so a couple of months ago, I had one of the high schoolers say to me, well, how many people do you have following you? And it was like, you don't get the concept that it doesn't make any difference. If I have one person following me or 1,000 or 5,000 people following me, if I can help you, it makes no difference. You know, I'm not trying to fix 5,000 people. I'm just trying to help one person at a time. So I think that the youth have, again, from the influencers and the different social media pressures, have probably a skewed perception of what it means to have somebody to be able to coach and train them and whatnot. Sure, it's great to have a lot of people following. That may mean that you're impactful, but it just may mean you're really good at social media.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many people who are following you if the engagement isn't there.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you learn how to live and learn and succeed on your own terms?
Oh, a lot
That takes some courage, girl.
a lot of deep breaths. Occasionally some champagne and whiskey.
Yes.
Just gonna be real with it. And it does take courage. It takes faith, being
Yeah.
able to step out and know that in the end, regardless of what happens, everything's going to be okay. You have to believe that, because it does take it takes a little bit of craziness to step out and just soar, not knowing if you're going to hit the floor or if you're going to fly. So you just have to do your best, take a deep breath, and jump.
Yeah. And be okay about falling. I think I've learned my best lessons from the failures I've had in my 66 years. I've had a couple. So, but I think people are so afraid of failing and what people will think, that they miss opportunities. They get frozen and stuck, and they miss so many great opportunities that they didn't even realize that came in front of them.
That's very true. I think that when you're too comfortable, that can be detrimental.
Yeah.
When you're too comfortable in business and in life to a certain extent, but definitely in business, when you are presenting yourself to the marketplace, if you're way too comfortable where you are in your little niche and not able to expand and learn and evolve, then you become very stagnated, right? And you can, as you said, miss out on those opportunities that could grow your business or just grow you as a person who can then lead better lead your team better, or lead those who your clients or whatever, insert whoever you need to influence, even if it's just yourself. And I think that because of that fear of failure, we miss out on a lot.
Yeah. Fear of the unknown. What is the best and the worst thing about being a full-time entrepreneur? And we only have half an hour here, sweetie.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, let's pull up the drinks. Let's get this because it's the best thing for me is freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom to chart my own course, I would say. I love that.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about entrepreneurship, I would also say freedom. The reason why I say that is sometimes people don't always get it, right? They don't, because I live in such a way that I am a free thinker and I do things my own way. Other folks don't always understand that.
Yeah.
Friends, family, whatever, and entrepreneurship is it can be really difficult, and it can be daunting, and it can be challenging, and you're learning how to you're creating the plane as you're flying it, right? So like, you're building the plane on the way down or the way, whichever. And it takes a lot of hit or misses, and the lows can be really low, but those highs are incredible, and that's what keeps you floating. It's the adrenaline rush of, you put this out there, it's all on you. There is no one else to blame or praise. So I think that's the best thing and the worst thing. It's that freedom, however you look at it, on both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, I think also you could probably speak to this too, that freedom also allows you to choose who you do business with. Whereas if you're in the corporate office, you don't always have that. And so you could have those negative influences, the people who don't have a positive mindset around you, kind of darkening the clouds. And yet as an entrepreneur, you have the ability, the right to say, no, I don't want to work with you.
Yes, that has been a beautiful thing. Learning and owning the fact that I could say no. Now, it took me a while to get there because definitely in the beginning, I said yes to everything when I should not have. But, it's also, I have to get clients. I can't say no to this. I have to have these, I have to go to every networking event. I have to do all these things because I'm on my own now. I've got to figure it out. But as you grow and mature in your business and in this entrepreneurial life, you figure out that you can pick and choose, and it's going to be okay if you say no. Like the world will not end if you choose differently, and you don't have to take every opportunity that presents itself to you.
And I think too, it kind of goes back to your why, because as you're picking people, you should be looking at, do they align with my core values and my purpose and the mission that I have? And that should make the no an easier no. But if you are attracting people that continually don't align with that, then maybe you need to reassess. And that's where you would work with someone like Jameka to reassess, is the message that I'm putting out one that's really reflecting me, my values, my mission, who I am, what my purpose is, or is it not? And should I be courageous enough to change it?
That is a very good point, because when I work with a lot of small businesses and executives and individuals, the one thing that I've noticed is they're afraid to take a deeper look, and you have to reassess, as you said, and there is nothing wrong with a rebrand. I don't know how this misconception that you can't start over and change things up if it's not working has infiltrated people's brains for some reason. They're just like, oh no, I need to have it this way. I can't switch up the brand. No, you absolutely can if there's a reason for it. So it's not just switching things up just willy-nilly, like this week I'm going to have this logo and next week I'm going to have a different logo and I'm changing my mind every 5 minutes. No, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, if things are not working in the way that you need them to, stop, look around, reassess, ask your mentors, ask the people around you, do some surveys, hire me. Yay. And we can help you redefine what that brand is, or what your image needs to be, or how you want to be presented to the world.
And there's really two sides to that too. One is, you mentioned your idol, Oprah. She has rebranded herself several times in it. And it wasn't because things weren't working. It was because she was evolving and developing into new and challenging things. As you get comfortable, that's the sign that you need to challenge yourself more, to make life interesting, to make life exciting, to give you that reason to get up every day in the morning. If it's the same old, then, I'll sleep into 11.
It's like, why am I here?
Yeah, right. So that's, I think, important. So we mentioned in the beginning something that I told you I'll never be, but how long have you been that vegan? I think you said from forever, but and what spurred you to go in that direction?
So I have literally been vegan since birth. I like to tell people that I was conceived in compassion. My parents were both vegan when they got together and decided that they were going to do this whole experiment called Jameka. And there I just, popped out. And they had both recently changed their diets and lifestyle and wanted to explore. They got into veganism for health reasons initially, but then it expanded into more of the core values of veganism, which is doing as little or no harm to animals as possible, and to help the environment. The nice side effects of veganism is you are helping the ecosystem, you're helping the environment, you are being compassionate to animals, and you're compassionate to other human beings, and you're trying to live with as little harm as possible. And you just want everybody to do well and be happy.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice way to grow up, knowing that you just didn't have to kill anything to eat. And, this is not a bash on other lifestyles, but it's definitely what worked for me from a child growing up. I never missed out on anything. My mom was an incredible cook, so I didn't even realize that kids were eating other things until I was like 6 years old. And I'm going, what's that? A hamburger? Ew. Like, I was like, what is that? What are you doing? I'm looking around like, I don't understand. Why would you not want this carrot? Like, I really.
It's funny. Although, again, I will never be, because I do love steaks, chicken, fish, all those things. But growing up, I had a large family with 4 brothers and 2 sisters. So, and my mom didn't work. So for us, I didn't have meat every day because we couldn't afford it. So I love vegetables and fruit and all those good things. And I love to garden. So for me, it's not that I couldn't imagine doing it, but I would miss. I'm sorry.
No, it is completely understandable. And that's why, we do a lot of things by example. So we'll show some of the substitutes. Mushrooms can do amazing things when cooked. And, people are coming up with all these innovative ways to help folks transition. So if they're even curious, you start off with a meatless Monday, see where it goes from there. It doesn't have to be overnight. And, I think what's great is people are just becoming more open-minded. And that's what, open-minded and wanting to learn. And that's what it's all about. It's a fair exchange of ideas and compassion both ways, and no pointing fingers. It's more of, okay, what can we do collectively just to make the world better?
And really, I had gestational diabetes with my first child. And so I had to eliminate a lot of things. And that was in the 80s. And we didn't have all the products that are designed for diabetic people then. So I would leave the food store after several hours in tears, because I was so sick of reading labels to try to find something that didn't have an os in the end of
Right. That's how I learned how to read, honestly. Learning early how to read ingredient labels so that I would know what I could have and what I
didn't. All right. So in your job, where you have to really listen to a diverse audience to find out their why and what they're passionate about, is it hard work for you, or does it just come naturally? Are you an active listener?
I am. I'd like to say that I am, because I love people and I love stories. So when people start talking, I just dig deeper and I'm just like, well, tell me more about that. And I'm constantly thinking about their brand narrative while they're just telling me. Even it could just be like, I went to the store today and did such and such and such. And I'm just like, oh, I really think we could implement that into XYZ. Like, I'm always thinking creatively in that sense. But at the core, I love human beings. I like their stories. I like to see what's behind the facade. What's behind that image, what's behind that smile that they present to the world, what's the mask hiding.
Awesome. All right, so a rapid fire question is, what is your motivation to do what you do, though?
Now it's switched a little bit in the last few years, and my motivation now is to live up to the legacy of my late mother. Both my mom and dad passed very early.
Oh, wow.
And my mom, I was super close with my mom, and she was an absolute light. Like, she glowed from within all the time. And anyone who met her was just, one meeting and you never forgot her. So I want to live up to that legacy of being impactful to people and leaving a a positive, just a positive light, and being able to lead by example. And, if somebody needs a hug virtually or physically, I want to be able to give it to them.
Oh, so good. And what is next for you? Any
Whew.
new projects?
I am, oh boy, I'm putting it out there because I need the accountability. I am working on a book.
Yay, awesome. You have to have you back whenever you get that book going here.
Thank you. Yes, it's going to be about growing up as a vegan in the South, being an African-American woman, and just kind of navigating that whole culture and world while just existing. So it should be fun.
Yeah, awesome. Do you have a timeline at all?
I am hoping within the next year.
Awesome. Very good.
I'm working on the book proposal right now. I've got a couple of publishers that I'm hoping to talk to. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do traditional or self-publishing or a hybrid, and then we're going to go from there.
So I have about 3 hybrid ones I would recommend to you. I'll talk to you after, but definitely have some great people to work with.
Oh, I would love that. Thank you so much.
Alrighty, well, it is time now for me to share my screen with contact information. If you are desperately saying you need Jameka to help you with your public relations and publicity, here is the contact information for her. So you can reach her at her website. Those of you that are just listening, of course, you should go grab that paper and pencil. It is jswmediagroup.com. Again, jswmediagroup.com. On Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, you can find her doing JSW Media Group. You'll be able to find her. And I'm going to turn it over to Jameka to be able to tell you about what you will find whenever you go to the website or those social media platforms. Jameka.
Thank you. So if you go to our website, which is, again, jswmediagroup.com, and you hit that contact us page, you can set up a consultation, a discovery call, all sorts of good things. So like if you're not sure where you want to go with your business, hit us up, set that up. We'll talk. It'll be great. We can talk to you wherever you are. We can do it over Zoom or a nice phone call or a virtual coffee, whatever you need. We've got you. We are very active on LinkedIn as well. So if you go to our company LinkedIn page, just do a search for JSW Media Group. We publish a newsletter probably about 3 times a week on there. And then always hit us up on Instagram, which is JSW Media. Just love being out and about in the social community and posting information that can help, resources, and as well as our client news. And yeah, I'm willing and would love to chat with you. Also on the website, you can learn more about our team, and I've got everybody's bios and pictures and all our smiling faces ready to help.
Awesome. Well, Jameka, it's been just great chatting with you. You gave a lot of good information and insight and hopefully inspiration to get some people off their seats to be able to do more for themselves by passing on the one piece of their business that someone else could do for them, and that would be you and your team. So again, I thank you for being a wonderful guest.
And thank you so much for having me. It is always humbling when someone actually wants to talk to me about what we do. And so I am always here and would love to come back whenever.
Definitely. Definitely when you get that book. All right. And as always, I remind everyone that life is a journey and it's up to you to enjoy the ride. This is Vicki Noethling signing off.
Thank you for tuning into the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling, where we share impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Remember to visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast.